Welcome back, everyone. Well, one thing's for sure. If you live in the Tri-North counties, Saratoga, Warren, and Washington County, chances are you're a small business owner. And like myself, I can tell you that energy costs are a substantial part of your overhead each month. And maybe you've noticed, but maybe you haven't noticed, whether you're a small business or an individual, that on your monthly energy bill, there's something called the System Benefit Charge. And joining me today is an expert in the energy field who's going to explain to us what that is on your bill and what you might be able to do to make all of your energy costs more efficient. So with that said, joining me is Susan Crossett. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
Very nice to have you here. Now, you're a corporate advisor in the energy practice for Harris Beach Law Firm.
That's correct.
Correct, all right. I want to let our viewers know Harris Beach is a statewide law firm, big practice, and part of their practice is related to the energy industry, for which you're an expert.
Yes.
Oh, you're an expert.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yes, it is. Well, you know, in the media world, nobody's an expert, so it isn't. I'm going to start by going to that energy bill. On your bill is something called the System Benefit Charge, which you call the SBC.
That's correct.
Correctamento.
Yes. Yes.
What is that?
It's a charge on your bill that was put into place to fund energy efficiency programs, research and development programs, and other kinds of programs to help companies grow, save money, introduce their products to the market. Most of the money is funneled through the NYSERDA, the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority.
Wow.
And that's available to anybody that pays into the System Benefit Charge. Any one of those programs that you might qualify for, you get the opportunity to get some of that money back.
You know, I assume that anybody owning a small business can relate to this. When it comes to energy charges, you just know it's expensive, but you don't know that there are avenues and places to go to actually help you with these things. And I want to cycle back on those three things you mentioned. On energy efficiency.
Yes.
Explain a little bit more about that category.
So there's money available to help you pay for new lighting, for instance. If you put in new lighting in your business, depending on what it is and how much you have, you could save between 40% and 60% on your energy bill. And also the new lighting lasts 25% longer than traditional lighting. It's one of those costs that you don't really think about all the time, but it's always there. It has tremendous benefits. So that's an opportunity.
You know, in our own business, and you can't see it on air, but we have energy efficient neon bulbs, which cut our energy costs here in lighting by about 40% from the old mercury vapor lights that not only gave off a lot of heat, so
Yes.
we'd be sweating right now, but they were also terribly inefficient. On the research side, sounds kind of obvious, but give us a sense of what research is being.
So if a startup company is looking to, has an idea and they want to test it out, does it make sense? Is it going to have any marketability? Does it have a place in the market? NYSERDA will help those companies with money to do that actual kind of research. They'll help figure out is there a market for it? Where is it on the equilibrium of developing a new product?
Right,
and
gotcha.
helping get it to the marketplace.
That sort of leads into the third one, which was actually a surprise to me, that NYSERDA will help companies market new products.
Yes, they have several different programs. And actually, right now, when you go on the NYSERDA website, there's more than 24 opportunities for funding. So it fits, you can find some place along that path where you might fit in to get some help.
And there are advisors to help you with that also.
Yes.
I'm sure, again, anybody who runs a business can relate to this. You don't want to sit down and wade through 72 pages on a website to try to see if there's some way that you can benefit from this,
Absolutely
right?
not. It's time consuming, it's confusing. You know, where do you really fit? It's hard to know. So that's where an energy advisor can really come into play and help you determine exactly which program you should go after. And make those introductions for you, set up the meetings, get people to understand what the programs look like, long before you fill out the application.
Yes, got you, sure. I want to touch on, you know, when you think of energy, you think of some of the traditional means, like the lighting that we see here in the studio. Solar energy, it seems almost every year either becomes more affordable, it's more
Absolutely.
prevalent, you start to see more of these panels all over the place. How does that tie in?
So when you're considering putting solar on your rooftop, for instance, the first thing you need to do is think about the application that you have to submit to the utility. Most people don't think about
you
that.
wouldn't think that,
You
right.
have to think about how is this going to integrate with the utility system, and will they allow it? They have the ability to say no in some cases.
Wow.
Depends on how it might impact their own system. But it's not, if it's small enough, you're certainly going to need the utility as backup. It's not going to provide you enough energy for your entire operation. But you need to understand, if I own it, what does that mean? What is it going to cost? If someone else owns it and I just buy the power from them, but they use my rooftop space, what kind of agreement do I need? Those are called power purchase agreements. We spend a lot of time with clients on
Well, I
those.
bet you do, sure.
And interconnection agreements with the utilities. So it's complicated, but not at all out of reach for people. It just takes a little time.
You know, there was a time when you thought when solar energy, unless you're living in Mexico, New Mexico, or Arizona, that didn't make sense. However, now with battery backups and some of the other technologies that have been developed, it actually does make sense here in the Northeast. But something you say I think is very important, that there are these purchase share agreements, or you need permission from the utility.
Yes.
You may be able to back up some of it in the battery. You may be able to sell some of that power back to the utility itself.
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of different ways. So having an advisor who knows the territory can help cut down on the amount of time that you spend pursuing these things, but also letting you know whether or not they're viable.
Absolutely. And make sure that the benefit comes back to you.
Yes, right, I've got
That's
it.
important.
Now, you are a consultant.
I am.
For Harris Beach. And what kind of applications? Now, I know that we mentioned at the beginning of the interview, it could be the individuals or small business owners, but developers, I bet, are big in this arena.
Absolutely. We've got some clients who are big developers that are doing a whole kind of mini grid, if you will, in their projects. So they might have a combination of combined heat and power, solar, maybe small wind, and how does it integrate into their system? Or maybe they just want to do wind or just solar alone. So we help them figure that out.
Boy, really interesting field
It's
you're
fun.
in. I'm
It's a
telling
lot
you,
of
it
fun.
is.
And today, so many things are happening. The industry's changing so dramatically. It's really exciting, especially with renewable resources coming into play, and people having a lot more choice about where they get their energy.
Well, you know what, then, a great way for us to close out. Any individual out there, any small business out there, any developer out there, what are some of the initial steps that they can take to sort of take advantage of this?
Well, I think they could start by educating themselves a little bit. Do some homework. Go to your local utility website. Go to the NYSERDA website. You can also go to the Public Service Commission website to figure out exactly where you want to go. But of course, you can call us. That's important. We're here to help as well. It's really educate yourself a little bit about what it is you want to accomplish. Are you doing this to reduce your energy costs, which hopefully you are?
Right.
And are you doing it to make your business a little bit more green?
Yes, right, sure. Yeah, there is that aspect of it also, especially guys my age. Tree huggers! You're right about it.
Hopefully we all are.
Yeah, Susan, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
in. It's
Jesse.
very insightful.
It's
You
my
are an
pleasure.
expert.
Thanks much.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, LookTVonline.com.